around there, we kind of take the fun out of living there.
Right.
Yeah.
But one day, I was in the back, and there's two girls jumping up and down on the ice trying to get through it, chasing their dog, and they got through it. But that was below, where it's only 2 or 3 feet deep, and they went into here, and Jerry worked at the school at that time and happened to know their name. When she bellered at him up, I shouldn't say bellered.
That's okay, Jerry, that's what you're supposed to do.
When she used their first and second name, or last name, and she worked with the dad of one of the girls, the other one was up above us, then they started to pay attention. But they were actually so lucky, because if they'd have been in the upper pond, it's 18 feet deep. They wouldn't have had a second chance.
How deep is that upper pond?
18 feet.
Really?
18 feet
That's
deep
why
in the middle.
everybody's
It's a very dangerous place, and I think if you, there should be something you can do to condemn them. I just make a proposal that you try and do that. I give you, ask you to do that.
We'll send letters.
Right,
You know,
if we do it
the
through the
letters-
proper channels, we'll have much better chances of getting this through. And that's, so we wanna do it right from the beginning, so that we don't have to go back, or there isn't any room for them to say, well, you know, you didn't get the required, you know, support from the homeowners or any of that. We wanna just make sure we do it the way it should be. And unfortunately, the child thing, we can't force parents to be good parents. I mean, I wish we
If we try to
could.
police the area, we're bad neighbors.
Well,
But it's better than having a child.
a child,
That's true, yeah.
exactly. And I think that that's the one thing that, for me, that's the one thing that we can't do anything about except say thank you to you guys for making sure that these children are safe. And if you're a bad neighbor, you're a bad neighbor. But, you know, in my opinion, to be a great neighbor.
Well, actually, water draws children,
Mhm.
you know.
It does.
I was a kid once, I remember.
Was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, long time ago.
Brenda, I would just ask you to include that third pond on the lower level, please. There's 2 up on top that are active, full, but the bottom one is not.
There's
But-
3 up.
3 up?
3 up, 1 down, so there's a total of 4 ponds, correct?
No, there's one by a pump house, and it fills with river water? Is
Okay.
that what it?
Like, or rain,
Well water.
well water,
Well
rain water.
Is that what it fills with? Well, and then it dries up, and then it fills up again.
Okay.
And there's one below us that's like,
There's a small one at the very beginning, where the road comes down.
So is there 5 of them then?
Pardon?
6.
On the
5
other
or
side.
I'd say 2 on the bottom and 3 on top, yeah.
Okay. 2 on the, okay. 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top,
Your letters were important for this, and I really appreciate it. And if we're gonna do something about those ponds, your letters are gonna be important there too. So, thanks a lot.
We heard you, we'll do it.
They
Thank
heard
you.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, anytime we get those kinds
I want to
of,
do the resolution.
then that
Right,
gets the ball moving.
agreed.
We're almost stuck.
Yeah.
And if we don't know, we can't help. And that's I think the big thing, and my thing is, I wish more people got involved with local government and were here to help us, because the only decisions we can make are the ones that we know about.
Now, very few of us really want government initiating things, so, you know, we,
Right.
I think most of us want individuals to, or groups to initiate something, and then we can, make recommendations from that.
We're elected by you. That's when we're doing your wishes, so we can only do it if we know them.
Petition instead of each writing an individual letter, would that be acceptable, or would you rather have individual letters?
I think a petition is good, but I think individual letters make more of an impact.
Individual letters do make that impact.
All right, sounds good. Thank you all.
Okay, here we go.
On the local government review, in the 1972 Constitutional Congression, they set up every 10 years, all local governments, counties, towns, cities, have to do, or ask the public, the electors, if they want to have a study of their form of government. What their form of government, the town is a charter form of government. We have self-governing powers. There's general governing powers, there's city-county form of government, there's commission form of governments, there's different forms of government. And so this next resolution is calling for that election and also asking the voters to vote on whether they want the study commission and to fund that study commission over the next 3 years. Because it's like about a 3-year period by the time they're done from start to finish. So that's what she's gonna be doing. I put 15,000 in there as a total, which is about 5,000 per year.
year,
So it's
right.
an estimate of about 15 mils over the next 3 years.
We've got all these people's names now, so we can appoint volunteers.
And no, they don't, if the public voted this in, the 3 members of the board would be elected at the November general election.
Correct. And can we, I don't know, are you guys familiar with the forms of government and what this would actually do? Should we explain it in a little bit? Yeah? All right. So can you talk to him about what a charter government is and what the rest of them are so that there's an understanding?
Yeah, well, we have some unique powers that, like a general form is mayor council, general form of government, which quite a few of the cities or the smaller cities and towns have. They can only do what the state allows them to do. This charter form of government, we have self-governing powers. We can actually do things as long as the state does not say that a charter form cannot do some things, we can do them unless the federal says you can't. There's also the city manager form of government. I'm trying to think of who.
Polson?
Bozeman.
Yeah, Polson, that's one.
Polson.
Polson, Bozeman, Butte, a lot of the bigger cities, Kalispell, they have a manager that, they have a mayor council. That manager works strictly with the mayor council. Most departments don't even see the council and the mayor. Very expensive form it can be. There's several.
Those are the 3 main.
Yeah, those are the
Governing.
3 main ones. And then, and they have, what the commission has to do is they come in and they look at, is your form of government working? Are there changes you want to make to your form of government? And then when they get done with that, they have to write a full report. And if they propose changes, they will have to go to the vote of the public to make those changes. Because the vote of the public has to make any changes. Even if the council considered that there was a change in our charter that they'd like to see, it couldn't be done by just the council. It would have to go to the vote of the public even now, is how it has to be done. We started out, let's see, this will be my 4th one. Shut up. Yeah.
You've been here a long
I finished 30
time.
years on January 31st. So,
Yes.
thank you. The first one, they voted it in. The commission did nothing and made no change. We recommended no changes. We were mayor council form of government with general powers. The second one came in. Dennis was on that committee
94.
in '94. Right, the first one and then the second. First 2 were nothing. The second one, first one was nothing. Second one was the committee that did nothing and recommended nothing. And then you were the committee that came in and recommended the change to the charter form of government. The last one in 2004, 2004 was voted down by the public, so there was no study commission. The county did have one, because the county also has to do the same thing. So that's where this one's going at this point. We have to call for the election and take it to the vote of the public as to whether they want the study or not.
Major difference is that we don't have to petition the government to make laws that they have expressly said we can't do. So we have the ability to do that as a charter form. Otherwise, we have to wait every 2 years for session to actually ask permission to do what we want to do. So that's kind of the major difference. Charter government definitely has much more authority to local self-govern.
I might point out that even though the town has had the charter form of government, it very rarely has exercised that power. It's just, it's a tool that's there, and if they need to, they can. But in general, it's easy to run things just the way that they had been set up under general powers. And, but it gives them the option when things,
EPA, for example.
become in conflict.
The EPA issue, I think we talked a little bit about some of that.
Troy was like one of the first, the city of Troy was like one of the first charter towns in the state, and the reason they became a charter is because they own their own electric company. But they couldn't own their own electric company under general form, because it was prohibited. So by going with the charter, they were able to do what they have. So, those are some of the differences that can be done. It is interesting, so.
Well, it's just good for our public to have this information, so when they get these ballots, they know what they mean.
Yeah, they're gonna cost money.
Because, well, and half of the time I get them, and I mean, I look at them and I'm like, wow, really? I have no clue. You know, you have to go research it, and it takes a lot of time. Thank you, Brenda, for doing that.
Okay, resolution number 391, a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Superior, Montana, calling for an election on the question of conducting a local government review and establishing a study commission to do so. Do you want me to finish reading it, or are you good with just reading this?
Under your rules, you can just read the title, because you've already read the resolution.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 391.
I second.
Any discussion? Question? You don't have a question? Oh.
No.
Aye.
Aye. You'll get used to it, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain the next two all in one. The first one, 392, is water loan interest modification and sewer loan interest modification on the other two. We have 3 water loans, 1 sewer loan. One's water loan, the interest rate on it's 0.75, so they won't lower that one anymore for us, I asked. The interest on one water loan is 3.75 and the other one is 2.75. And the state, because they are getting better interest rates, have offered to lower that interest rate on those 2 loans to 2.25% interest without changing any other terms of the loan or affecting the life of the loan. The number of years will stay the same. And then on the sewer loan, would go from 2.75 down to 2.25% interest also, same thing. It'll save the community estimated about $150,000, a little bit more over the lives of the 3 loans. So.
Yes.
We'll be going in
Still gotta get the system paid for.
Yeah,
Can we-
yeah. The loan payments are not going to change so much on this end of it. This end of it right now is closer to the other end of the loans is when they're going to start going smaller. They reversed one on one of the water loans that would have had a large payment at the end because it dropped. Because this is the second time we fully refinanced them in 2004 from USDA and dropped the water ones down from 5.5% interest down to 3.75, and the other water one from 8.75 down to 2.75. So we cut off 17 years off of one loan and 19 off of the other, which saved close to $1 million that time. So
Brenda does do, I have to tell you, an amazing job at making sure we save money around here. Can we approve these together since they're basically the same?
yeah, if you want to read the book. Well, actually, probably not.
No?
Bond counsel might not be happy.
Okay.
I want to keep bond counsel very happy.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
They're very expensive, keep them very happy.
I bet.
Resolution 392, resolution relating to first amended and restated water system revenue refunding bonds, DNRC Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Program, amending authorizing resolution adopted September 27th, 2004, and bonds. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to pass resolution number 392.
Any discussion or any more discussion? And the question?
Aye.
Aye.
And resolution number 393, resolution relating to first amended and restated sewer system revenue bond, DNRC Water Pollution Control State Revolving Loan Program, amending authorizing resolution adopted August 8, 2005, and bond. May I have a motion?
I'll make
Second.
Kevin? Any more discussion? Question?
Except,
All right,
Man, look at the feels to sign those things. The last bond we did, the last actual bond issue, there were 45 signatures for the mayor.
You know what you're
Hey,
getting into.
I get about 8 more pages of signing than you, so.
And there's no
We
stamping on
sign
those
our-
things.
No, we sign our lives away, it seems like. Yeah.
Okay, appoint Ward 2 counselor. We need to appoint a counselor for Michael's position. And Joseph Kuchera, Shirley Awada, and Beth Price are all interested in serving on the council.
And I see Shirley
I
here.
see Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Did any of them submit letters or interest in why they want to do the position? Or
No, other than
nothing?
that they were interested in serving.
All right. So we do a little vote here.
You can, there's ballots if you wish.
You know, Shirley is here. I would, for me, I think I'd be okay with appointing Shirley.
Shirley ought to get up and make a speech.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Short and sweet.
Shirley's been involved in this community for a long
Yeah,
time.
you can do it on
And
the paper
she's
ballot, or
worked
you
for our
can,
county attorney. She now works for the health department. I think that Shirley has a lot of interest in seeing this city thrive and making sure that the issues are taken care of. I know she monitors things around the city very well. So I endorse Shirley. Can't find my paperclip, but I endorse Shirley.
You wanna make a motion?
Having a hard time over here. You're
Is that a
welcome.
motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to appoint Shirley
I'll
Iwata
second the motion.
as Ward 2 counselor. You're way ahead of me.
I knew where you were going with that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any further discussion? Question?
all right.
Aye.
All right.
Congratulations, Shirley.
You.
So if you want to do your oath of office, not tonight.
No, next week. Next. I won't be here next month.
Okay,
Just so you know.
I almost signed you with another, resolution, but I'll do it for next month.
Good, thank you.
Well, MMIA it's their turn to re-amend and restate the agreement for the workman's comp. So.
It's everybody's turn. It's everybody's
I
turn right
know.
now.
I know, I looked at when it was
Funding
due.
cycles.
Okay,
We have
legal.
another,
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Excuse me. May I digress back to the issue of the pond and walking trail?
Okay,
I have one thing I'd like to say, please.
okay.
Obviously, the letters were not read openly, but they were read privately by all council members. I would request, please, that the minutes refer to these letters and the letters be attached to the minutes and filed with them for future reference.
I'll make the motion.
I make that motion, yeah. I'll
Okay,
second.
well, I'll second Rick's motion then.
Okay. Any more
I
discussion?
can just attach them, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can
Yes.
take
Yes.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
that. All right.
Yeah, they're public. We can read them.
Thank
We
you,
d- We
Rick.
don't want to read them, but
you.
yes, thank you.
Apologize for being late on that.
No.
That's okay.
We're
And
kind of loose
Tim?
here. Better late
Yeah,
than
we
never.
Do you want copies of all the
I like that you guys are
letters?
involved. I mean, this is one of the
can't
biggest
hear
crowds
you.
we've had in a long time. And the nice thing about local government is you can
You want a
do
copy?
that.
Okay, you want official
You know?
copy of all the proposal and all,
The first 3 letters, you know, I think you gave me the last time and stuff.
okay, yeah,
You need
there's,
to have that for the file, because
okay. I will
probably
do
be
that.
doing an analysis sometime, because you
Okay.
accepted all those ponds as
Right.
mitigation, so
We'll do that, okay.
be careful about getting rid of
Can't we say that they're contaminated? The EPA come in and fill it in for us?
You missed a golden
Thank
opportunity that you should have had
I know. Just popped up in my mind right now, though.
park
Okay.
fees and dual park
Ready for
lands.
consent
and you
agenda?
accepted
Nope,
those.
I'm waiting for clerk's business.
I wasn't
No.
here.
No clerk's
You
business.
did.
Not at the moment.
Now I'm waiting for.
make a motion to
Oh, we
accept.
have new phones in the office, so if you get a call from anybody that I've cut somebody off, I'm learning how to transfer and it's not going well.
You're only doing it to the people who are yelling at you too, huh?
I make a
No, I
motion to approve
haven't.
the
I've
consent
done it
agenda. You second?
I second. I make a motion to adjourn.
Wait,
I second.
Wait,
I have a
we haven't done the
question.
question yet.
Darn.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
We tried really
Line
hard.
number 3630,
What is it?
Ellen Curtis and Sons Pants and Coats.
Fire equipment, it's turnout gear for the fire
Are we
guys.
buying them one every so often? Is that-
They have a full regime, it's usually if they have one that they have to change out, because it's either old, or we have somebody that's a special size,
Okay.
either really big or.
And if a
John?
fireman leaves, they do stay.
Oh, yeah, all the
Yeah,
turnout
they
gear
don't-
stores
they don't
stays
go
here.
with
them.
It just,
That was my question.
on
The
Ellen
turnout gear, he was
Curtis.
asking about the
It was awful
purchase
high,
of
and I
a
just
coat
thought,
and pants, and we were
What
debating
is that?
why
Turnout
and
gear.
how often
Turnout
you
gear,
purchase.
we didn't see anything for the water sewer pool.
Wow.
And that they stay with
That's
us
like triple the
when
cost.
the
Oh,
person
yeah,
leaves.
same.
Backhoe stays here.
On the,
Question.
on the consent agenda, the question. You have to do aye or nay.
Aye.
Aye.
I
Okay.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion?
Thank you all for being here. That's my discussion, thank you.
Rick?
Yes, sir.
Aye.
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 We've only
choke
been
out
here
an
like
eye.
not very long, we're all now.